That's why it's huge that you're on the bus. Yeah. Because Brendan came on. He came on, when was it, 2000? When was that, Bloss? 2019? In like July. Similar to you, stalked him on the Zanies calendar. Yeah. And I wasn't in a training camp yet. And Taylor, he was in training camp with the Titans. And I saw Schaub was coming to perform. And I was like, I got to get this motherfucker on the bus somehow. And just so happened, I just got done doing an interview with Michael Chandler. The first time. He's been on like 3 times now. Yeah. Great dude. And he's like, bro, I could get you Brendan. I'm like, are you serious? Because, and I didn't bring it because I was in a fucking hurry, but I have this book that I journal shit in. And The Fighter and the Kid, like inspirations you grab to kind of put visions together. The chairs, the little couch, the table, The Fighter and the Kid style. Like, there's just different shit that like, you guys are in the book. I was telling Brendan the same thing when he was on here, but the fact now that I have you on, it like, we're laying in bed last night. My fiance's like, hey, I'm proud of you. And I was just like, yo, let's fucking go, dude.
That means a lot to me. As you get older, you just do your work and then you realize you had an influence on people. Yeah. You don't realize it. And you're like, oh, that's what happens when you're gray and you've been doing it that long. You're going to have an impact.
Bro, you've been in the game a long time. Like you helped, like the big thing with Schaub too was I looked at him because he was an athlete who transitioned into the entertainment world. Yeah. And like you said, there was no one, there's a couple more now, but there was no one in the space at the time. So we were the first NFL active player podcast. And it was kind of like picking his brain. Like, what was that transition like? It was all this different stuff. So,
well, it was because me and Rogan, and we were at Metamoris, and me, Rogan, and Schaub were sitting there watching the jiu-jitsu. And, it gets a little boring. Come on. You're like, oh, he's got position. After a while, you're like, it's fine if you don't know what you're looking at. And so Schaub starts telling a story about how he was being so self-effacing, right? And Joe didn't really know him. And so Schaub's like talking about how, and I had just started fighting, and I'm calling out Nogueira. And it's like somebody should have sat this kid down to say, hey, Joker boy, you ain't ready for the fucking nog.
Forward. He and his brother both Randy's down. No,
okay, you're not ready to step into the major leagues, bro. Take a couple more cuts in the minors before you. And he was just being so funny, and Joe was fucking cackling. And so he went to go to the bathroom, and Joe goes, that guy, he's funny. And I go, yeah. And he goes, no, but he's really funny. And I go, I don't hang out with him because he's got big muscles. I do. I'm a little gay. But you get over that after a while.
Hey, no pause. It's the thing, no pause on this bus.
Taking him in a little bit and felt him up a little bit, you get over that. Yeah. Now you need, it's not just sex. Now you need like good substance. You know what I'm saying?
What's he about?
A personality.
What kind of depth do you have?
That's the reason we hung out. The fucking guy was hilarious. Yeah. And we'd hang out. And that's when I said to him, I go, let's do a podcast. And then we'll call it Fighter and the Kid. And I said, let's just about fighting. And he goes, no, not just fighting. That'll kill me. Let's just talk about the way we talk. And that was it.
So you guys just started doing a podcast.
Doing a podcast. And now he's like the business guy. Like, see, what people don't realize is that he's the guy. I'd love to take credit for everything, but I was just showing up being a jackass, right? Yeah. But I've been doing it forever, so I can, But he was the one who started saying, let's sell T-shirts. Let's do graphics. Let me hire people to do caricatures. Let's do photo shoots. This fucking dude was like, a publicist and an agent. And I'd be like, all right. And he'd be like, wear this. You fucking don't wear that. I show up in flip-flops. He goes, come on, man. You can't show your toenails. I didn't know. I'm fucking, right. My joke about guys like regular bros is he's like regular bros. The criteria for the way we dress, is it comfortable? Do I look like a pussy? Moving on. Right. I'm not going. I wonder if this fuchsia goes with my shoes. I don't know what the fuck fuchsia is, right? Yeah. But that's like it. There's this true story. Like my girlfriend goes, she has a bike with a basket on the front of it, and she was like, "Just take my bike." And I was like, "Nah." She goes, "Why?" I go, "Nah. I don't want. I might get jumped. Like I'm just a target for bandits. If I have like the groceries with my little French bread sticking out and I'm biking, I just feel like I'm gonna get beat up just for having a basket. But Schaub is one of those guys who he loves fashion. He loves color.
Oh, he's super into it.
Oh, dude, he changes his fucking hair, and he'll wear he'll wear something that's
wear that beanie on the back of his head.
He's a giant. He's a pituitary case. Yeah. Let's be honest. Like he's not a fashion. He doesn't. You're never going to be Jared Leto. Okay, you're never going to look good. You're just not, dude. You're a fucking 270 pound. He's like, I'm 240. You're 270 and
Thick.
more, thick as shit. And he wears like those little, what are those fucking jeans,
the capris.
The capris, dance slacks. But now he's a gorilla. He'll kill all of you with his bare hands, so he's allowed to. But so I can't really make fun of him for it.
That's why we're letting you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep going in on
if
him.
he can wear an ankle bracelet, he would. He would. He flirts with it every day. I know. He goes, is today the day? No.
He's savvy though. Like when we got done with our pod, it was an awesome pod. Bloss remembers it. We were kind of like, taken back. And he was like, bro, you ever need help or any mentoring through this, like, here's my number. Literally just whatever you need, like, let me know. I think you got something. Now, granted, our AC ran out and his brother was in the back and they almost passed out because we're in early August in Nashville and people were hot as shit. But he's like, I think you got something, man. He's like, you just got to stick with it and, endure the negativity that's probably going to come with it.
Don't read it. I don't read comments.
Yeah.
I don't read good or bad. Good comments are just as powerful as bad comments.
Was that something he went through in the beginning, like when you were getting him transitioning into the whole be out in front of the camera and be out in front of everybody world?
Yes. He would read comments, but I don't believe in reading. And my last special, I guess people said good things, and people were telling me that. And I never read one comment because I don't want anybody, if you tell me I'm really good in a certain way, it's going to define me. If you tell me I'm really good at this, I'm going to try to aim at that. It's like fighters. It's like, like say, I don't know if this would make sense to you, but if I were to say, you're a knockout artist, like if you're a fighter and say, this guy's a knockout artist, what you're going to do is you're going to go out in your next fight and try to knock the guy out. You're not going to just fight the guy in front of you and react to whatever you're given.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very dangerous place to be. I know that as an artist. I know that as like, this is going to sound like a weird thing, but when you do a live performance, when you do a play and when you're coming up as an actor, you hit certain scenes, you hit certain notes and the audience laughs their ass off. The next night, what you're doing is you're aiming to do that again. And then all of a sudden they didn't laugh as hard and you're like, fuck, they didn't laugh as hard and you're out of the scene. So you have to be very careful with how people speak to you. You're never going to be able to control how people speak to you, but you control what you take seriously and what you listen to. And the same thing goes with negative comments, because somebody can say one thing to you. They can say one fucking thing.
Yeah.
They can say and it can hit home because it reminds you of what your dad said, your sister said, your brother said.
It triggers you.
It triggers you. They can say, yeah, he's a poor man's such and such, or he's. I heard somebody one time say, he's good at performance, but not good at substance. He doesn't really say anything. And I was like, it took me a long time to get over that. You got to be very careful, man. So now I just, I don't compare myself. I just am here. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't have a plan.
Right. You said, be ready for the charisma.
Be ready for that, dude. And
you are taller and more athletic in person.
Thank you. You see, you're not mad at me.